If you're not already a fan of the PhiDX Games YouTube channel, you're probably surprised to see a Noctis player complain about DLC. And I think it's important to be aware of what strengths you have as a DLC character, because you can get a lot of mileage out of understanding what is frustrating your opponent, why it's hard to deal with your character. So today, I am covering and analyzing everybody's favorite character to downplay, Kazuya Mishima. Kazuya is a really good character in Tekken 7, but historically, especially if you're a legacy player, Kazuya is really good. And I'm fighting a legacy player, Nene the Dragon. From Peru, I believe, South American Tekken, incredibly strong player, started in Tekken Tag 1. And if you don't know how the Tag 1 players work, they are cracked. They play at full speed, they're always watching every movement you do, and everything is liable to being fucked up. So, before we start covering the match, I want to talk about what Kazuya is kind of supposed to do in general. So I've played Kazuya to Tekken God Prime. You know, I'm not a tournament level player with him, but I think I understand enough to talk about him. So Kazuya's thing is that as soon as the announcer says round 1 fight, your opponent should have anxiety. And this is the reason why. Say they start with a defensive approach first, okay? The opponent chooses defense. Kazuya has wave dash and mix-ups, timing changes, and then he has some pokes like down back 4. He has forward 4 for frame advantage, standard jab, things like that. Nothing crazy. Kazuya actually probably likes it a lot if the opponent is just defending and he gets to choose his timings freely. Where it gets scary is if the opponent decides to play keep out, right? So if the opponent's playing keep out, Kazuya has tools for that too. Assuming he didn't commit to this wave dash mix and commit to the pokes, every keep out jab, keep out, you know, long range hitbox is liable to dying to Electric Wind God Fist. On top of that, his basic whiff punishment is decent if you're able to do a Wind God Fist on reaction to a big whiff, especially if you're prepared for it. And then finally, if you snipe a keep out with like down forward 2, less likely. And like honestly, he could snipe it with like forward 4 as well. But that's more of a timing thing. You probably won't see that as often. That's how he handles keep out. Finally, the last of like the rock, paper, scissors of neutral. If someone is attacking you, I'm talking about offensive pokes like mix-ups. He has, you know, regular Tekken defense. Shocking idea. His regular jab and his generic down 4, including his down jab, are also good defensive options as well. And finally, if you have a good read on your opponent's timing, down forward 2 and electric also work really well. I treated electric when I was learning Kazuya as a Steve back 1 that could counter hit movement. And when you treat it that way, instead of a move you just want to hit your opponent with, Kazuya is insanely strong. So I'm going to write that down because I think it's really important. As Steve back 1 versus movement. Or can counter hit movement. Right? So this is how I like to play Kazuya, okay? Now, I want to talk about the title of this video, as you know, is why DLC is so messed up in this game, even though I'm playing DLC. So Kazuya has all these tools that are really, really scary. Noctis has so many answers to that, okay? So from the very beginning, let's start with how, if an opponent is defending against you, okay? So if you're playing wave dash mix, Noctis, sorry, I put this in the wrong order here, Noctis has up forward 1. So this beats your wave dash mix. You can't evade it unless you do crouch dash 3+4, the really high evading move. But that doesn't give a lot of reward, and it's -11. So that's the first thing, is up forward 1 is such a strong counter. It's a Steve back 1. And, you know, Kazuya players hate fighting against Steve for a reason. On top of that, if you decide to play small with pokes or jabs, right, Noctis has moves that counter that completely. So we're on the offensive tree here. Jab evasion with down forward 1 and back 2. So if he's pushing offense into you, forward movement, mix-ups, and timings, you try to jab to keep him out, you could just lose and take damage anyways. Sorry, again, that was out of order. I want to talk about the keep out now, right? So this is where Noctis really skews things in his favor against Kazuya. Against keep out, Kazuya will look to electric or whiff punish. 2-2 is almost unwhiff punishable, and you have to have really good timing to snipe the 15-frame full screen move. Tip range down back 3 is also nasty keep out against Kazuya because Kazuya's long range whiff punish doesn't hit crouching opponents. So down back 3 recovers crouch, and at tip range you will hit Kazuya can't hit twin pistons. So Noctis has amazing keep out against Kazuya. On top of that, he has DLC movement, right? I didn't write that down, but that lets him counter the wave dash mix with a bit more comfort than a standard Tekken 7 character. And finally, we have down back 1, 1+2, which is one of Noctis's offensive options. And the reason it's so good is because it's only -5. So he can always move after and not die to an immediate hell sweep or electric, things like that, right? So Noctis versus Kazuya is heavily skewed in Noctis' favor because he can shut down this anxiety that Kazuya puts on the screen. The one thing he can't take away from Kazuya is the robbery factor. So Noctis is still vulnerable to the vortex. That's a lot of V's. Vulnerable to the vortex. And a good electric can still turn the game around, right? Good rage drive can turn the game around. So Kazuya still has the robbery factor, right? But aside from that, Noctis is hugely favored. So that's enough of that. Let's get into the matches. This is the first of two in tournament. We just played it today. And I want to show why we have a long history of playing, right? I want to show why Noctis's options are just so good. So he plays a down forward 2 here. I'm sorry this is on Twitch, so skips will be in 10 seconds. But you'll see that he plays a down forward 2 at this range. Why would he do that? That beats a run up down back 3. That beats a bad 2-2 timing. In general, as Noctis, you'll see them swinging from this long range or running up from range to do a down back 3. That's why the down forward 2 is there. Unfortunately, I'm more of a patient Noctis player who's willing to just move around here. If you see my options I'm choosing, I'm going to rewind one more time. I'm playing sidestep left, sidewalk left, and just these really small pokes, and playing at a range where he has to really come into me. He tries to use that move again to get around the up forward 1. But since I'm not biting, I'm playing really, really slow, I just get a block punish. So he decides to do a full range hell sweep. This is what I'm talking about, the tag 1 player effect, okay? So at this long range, he knows that I'm chilling and doing nothing. He scouted out that I'm not looking for up forward 1. So he responds with just a full screen hell sweep, right? These are why tag 1 players are so scary. They're always looking for the tiniest things. So I start fighting back a little bit because I can tell he senses my inactivity, right? Still finding the down back 3s, putting out a bit more of my mids. I do a move on -9 here. And the reason is, right, -9 back 2, right here. I'll do a back 2 on -9, and then I don't think he's going to swing back immediately with electric. I think he's either going to wave dash into me or try to play some forward movement to mix up his timing. So I just throw a back 2 again. He does a nice wave dash block, or like a dash block, so it doesn't hit. Playing 2-2. Not looking for a lot here. He does run up stature kick, which tracks my sidewalk left. Really nice. But as you can see, because he can't reliably snipe my keep out with his electric, and he doesn't want to whiff because Noctis down forward 2 will destroy a whiffed electric. It requires me to be sharp, but that is a constant risk. And again, how could I forget the forward 2 representing another full screen keep out threat that he can't hit electric on. The only risk I'm taking by doing these -9 moves over and over again is he could do an immediate hell sweep, right? He could do immediate hell sweep or forward 4-3 mix up, and I have to hold that, right? Here he goes to try to kill or like put me in a last hit situation with down back 4. I just read low. Kazuya doesn't have a lot of instant scary mids. He would have to do forward 4 or down forward 4. And I thought stature kick was way more likely. You know, last hit 50-50. Not much you can do. Because the hell sweep doesn't get the sidewall combo. Look at how the wave dash timings he's playing. Remember how I'm just doing back dashes for most of the game? And sidesteps left? This is what I'm talking about. Opponent is choosing defense. You choose wave dash mix and pokes. He did like 4 wave dashes into his hell sweep. So I start playing jab and down forward 1. I want to control his timing a little more. Sniping with the down forward 1-2, that felt like a hit confirm, even though it wasn't. I felt like I saw him move. But I know this move is not hit confirmable. It's just something about that situation where he forward dashed into jab made it look really obvious. And then I say it there. Rage drive, forward for 1+2. He goes for a grab. And here is another Noctis like classic situation. Because Noctis isn't like a mix-up character, right? I'm not really too concerned about trying to hit him that often, even though I have a health deficit here. Even though I'm -9 and messed up this grab situation, I just play sidewalk left, because I think on throw breaks you're usually around -5. It depends on the throw, but that's kind of my guideline. So I run a sidewalk left, he does this down 1+2, trying to get around my up forward 1 or my jab strings. So that gives me a whiff punish. Wall combo not ideal, shield does not hit, he stays down. Playing some rolls just to, you know, attack his defense, and then I eat a rage drive. Noctis roll is kind of like a really weak wave dash, where it's not a good mix-up after, and you can stop it. But if your opponent's really doing nothing, it's a solid option. Solid is the wrong word. It is an option. It is something. And look at this round. He starts trying to play these down back 3s, and that will beat my jab, right? And it will beat my up forward 1. But Kazuya doesn't have the tracking. So I down forward 1, -1. This gives me plenty of time to sidestep left. I even look, if you see my character model there, he stops for a bit before I did the down forward too. I just did like an autopilot sidestep left block. And this is why DLC is so good, okay? I barely committed to that sidestep left. I just did it and kind of blocked. I didn't even realize it whiffed. I had time to go get lunch, see the whiff, and then hit the down forward too. This is the DLC privilege in addition to the movesets. The movement itself makes it so much harder for Kazuya to get done what he needs to get done. Now, disclaimer, in Tekken Tag 2, older Tekkens, and Tekken 8, you can move like this against Kazuya as any character. So if you're complaining about Kazuya being unable to track, this is how it used to be before. So you're going to have to level up a little bit. All in good fun, of course. He could have twin pistoned that. Now I'm just playing movement again, really slow. I don't want to eat electric, and if he wants to commit to Hell Sweep, we'll play that game. But for now, I'm chilling. That was a crazy hard duck he played here. So I rewinded a bit, sorry, about 10 seconds. I'm running up in his face because he's very clearly chilling. He hard ducks, so I'm like, okay, I'll play it back too. Stands up, like last frame. And then he plays electric on my -9, would have clipped me moving or like doing some like a bad approach. But now I'm just back to playing these full range down back threes. He has to whiff punish with Hell Sweep, right? And assume I'm not still ducking. He tried something really cheeky there. Did you catch that? Did you catch what he tried to do to me? Look at this. It's when we get to the wall. He tried to, well, that wasn't even the cheeky part, the magic 4. He tried to do a flash duck into twin pistons. Right? He whiffed electric, threw down a duck, and then tried to twin pistons. And then he tried to magic 4 me. I'm not a mix-up character. And that's what I said. I'm not a mix-up character. I'm not going to play like offensive timings on you like that in that situation. I'm going to throw an up forward 1 and try to keep you in check. If he did twin pistons, duck into twin pistons again, you got me, man. But Noctis in this matchup, I think, behaves like a Steve, controlling with his movement and finding counter hit and whiff punish timings. I don't need to play a lot of mix-ups. And in fact, if I play a lot of mix-ups, I can die. Right? Because I'm not getting a lot of damage for hitting a down back 3 on you. I don't have a power low that gives me frame advantage. Instead, what I can do is constantly move around to make it hard for you to hit me. But he gets a nice sidewalk right block against my while running 1+2. Whiffs the combo, and I get a while standing 2-2. Do I land this combo? I've been dropping all my combos lately. There we go. Noctis combo. I go mid, he ducks. Oh, I mess up. I could have killed him. I could have killed him. But that was a really good block. Really good block. There he gets the CD 3+4, catching me ducking the hell sweeps. If you look at my character model now, actually, for most of this round, I start ducking a lot. They're fuzzy ducks, like out of my movement, but I'm ducking for that hell sweep. There it was a sidewalk left, but I wake up here and duck, right? Little small duck. I play 1-2, up forward 1. I'm -2. He does the down forward 2. He should have honestly won, but he was a frame late, I think. Right? Or maybe 2 frames late. 2-2 grab. He ducks. Crazy duck. I see him wave dashing. I'm trying to duck the hell sweep, but he finds the CD 3+4. Look at my movement here. Look at my movement. In between my back dashes, I'm holding a bit of a longer duck here. Right there. Back dash, duck, 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 and then he catches me. Very, very nice timing from a Tag 1 player, but he eats the American get-up kick. Shitty wall situation. I have a gun. I go mid, and he ducked. You can't hear it I don't know if you could hear the commentary. I said, safe, homing, counter hit launching, wall splatting mid. DLC, man. Like, do you notice how he is playing around my ducks, playing around my offense, trying to find what the magic 4, the down back 3s. He's hitting my ducks out of his multiple wave dashes with CD 3+4. His eyes are on me. He's mastered Kazuya. His eyes are on me. But I have Rage Drive. Shoot my gun. I'm +8. Forward, 1+2. Guaranteed he has to Rage Art me if he wants to survive. And he died. There he gets a really nice mini sidestep right on my up forward 1. This was good too. Look, this is a testament to his attention. Look at how I play here. Up forward 1, he sidesteps, but he's late in the electric. I run up, down back 3, okay? Run up, pause, down back 3. Run up, pause, down back 3. He's sick of that shit. He's doing a delayed hop kick, and he caught my timing, right? If I did run up, stop, down back 3, I'm dead. But what did I choose to do? Run up 2-2. Lucky trade. I almost died. I was on frame. Really nice punish, PhiDX. That was horrible. 2-2-4-2. He doesn't electric me. Just hits the 2-2. I tried to sidewalk left an immediate mix-up or an electric because I don't think 2-2 gives him that good enough frames. I'm actually not that knowledgeable because nobody hits that. But I'm pretty sure he gets the damage, but not a lot of frames. So I play sidewalk left. The second hit of the string clips me. But that's not so bad because he doesn't get a huge reward off that. I just panic a bit. Forward for 1+2. He starts playing some jabs. Oh. So look at this. He I play 2-2 on his block, right? This will catch all of his approaches and wave dashes, things like that. Now he's thinking of 2-2 forward 2, so he chooses to block. Even though I'm -9, that gives me mental frames. If you haven't heard the term mental frames, it's the string has an extension threat, so I have this mental advantage that I can take advantage of. Advantage, advantage, advantage. So what do? I sidewalk left, even though I'm -9, technically breaks the rule of what you would expect is sidesteppable, and get a whiff punish on his down back 3. Playing some wake ups, I don't get the right follow up. Raw down forward 2 dies. That was really dumb. He hits this combo, of course. Specialist. And he plays, look at this. So you guys say Kazuya has no mids. Down forward 4 is his 13 frame mid of choice, and it's really, really worth using. The extension threat, even though it's launch punishable, can catch people in scramble situations. He knows that I'm generally a passive player, so I just block, and he just chooses not to do the extension. I retaliate. I do the cheeky string extension, nothing out of it. He flash ducks my jab. I shoot my gun. Down forward 1-4 does not catch him. Block the rage drive. Now, why would this up forward 1 hit? Against a traditional Tekken character, his choice is pretty decent here. Forward dash, and then he hits forward 3. Right? No character except Steve can really contest this range, right? But again, he's a tag 1 player. Steve wasn't in the game. I would have to hit him here, because look how much HP I have to come back from, right? To hit him here, I'd have to dash up and employ a mix-up. At this spacing he was at, forward 3 would not whiff. So not only did he safely go for a kill, I could have gotten a little punish, but you know, nothing, not a big deal. He safely went for a kill with an advancing move that would be really hard to whiff. But I'm Noctis. Up forward 1 hits. Backdash. That's fucked up. So, a little bit of DLC advantage in my favor again. And he has to play this timing because of my 2-2, right? Right? If I backdash and he reads the backdash and I hit 2-2, he can catch me. In this specific case, he would have been late for 2-2 in general, but from a strategy standpoint, that is a valid idea. Unfortunately, jousting with Noctis' sword is usually not the move, especially the counter hit launching one. 2-2 wouldn't have killed him there, so... Look, he plays a lot of blocking. This is kind of what you have to do. He's looking for what I'm doing after those -9 situations. So it looks like he's doing totally nothing, right? But say, for example, I do this forward 4 1+2, and I just stand block. That's a potential hell sweep timing. Here, I put a fuzzy duck in, right? That's a potential situation for me to block the hell sweep timing. So this gives him information to work with. And as a Kazuya player, you should look for that too. He didn't believe in the punish. Because Noctis sometimes can evade it. Now I'm just clipping him, getting a lot of damage. He tries to up forward 3. That would have beaten my down back 3, but I was just playing my generic Noctis stuff. Caught him in a bit of a moment of frustration. He ducks. He has been ducking historically, so I ripped the down forward 1-2. Look at these. I'm running up and blocking because I don't want to eat that electric. I'm not doing the fuzzy duck stuff that really good Koreans will do, where you run up and fuzzy duck, but not eating the electric is huge. 1-1-2. Challenges. Play 2-2. I don't know why he was just hard ducking there. I think he's really concerned about my down back 3. The down back 3 is really concerning for him, or annoying him. It's not doing much damage. But I'm missing the whiff punishes. He gets the twin pistons. I forgot how much he ducks on read. He's really gaming. Confirms the combo. Very nice. He mixes up. Last time he did the hell sweep, so I ducked. He got me. And then he challenges with down for 2 again. I can't get too comfortable doing offense. If the Kazuya player is sharp, I should never be too comfortable doing offense. This is a textbook example why. 1-2, -2. I do him 14 frame mid. He just hits the down forward 2. That's crazy because last time I did that, I up forward 1'd him, and he did it again anyways. Yeah, so I'm observing that last time I tried that, I hit up forward 1, but he went for it anyways. Now look at these hard ducks. I think he's starting not only to look for down back 3, but up forward 1. The 2 moves really blowing him up, right? This is another situation where Noctis has this DLC privilege. If somebody is ducking you as a Mishima, you have to play hard with your timings, right? Somebody's just hard ducking and standing up in reaction to your wave dash. You have to play your timings differently. You have to use forward movement. You have to use like small pokes to kind of make sure they're not checking you or find good electrics on their timings. That's a lot of work. If somebody's ducking your down back 3 and you're up forward 1 on Noctis, you just hit 2-2. It does the range, it does the damage, and it does the tracking for you. Right? Because to beat up forward 1 and Noctis' main pokes, you sidestep right. You can sidestep right duck even. 2-2 covers that. So if I see him ducking like that, especially in neutral, I'm going to run 2-2. That was a really idiotic whiff. That was a really, really idiotic whiff. That's just me trying to be Noctis. And I don't need to be desperate here. He goes for the string extension. I'm pretty sure I can punish that harder. I sidewalk right to try to get away from the wall, so he just hell sweeps me. And this is what I'm talking about. Do you remember how I played those forward 1+2s earlier? He had a clear sense from all of the past behavior that I wasn't going to duck any of those. It's not a random decision. It's a strong read based on past behavior. That was really sick. Let's check the start of this round again. Final round of the second game. I'm playing a lot of jabs because I don't want to eat these raw hell sweeps. Back 2 hits. Sidestep left. He goes for that because he sees me fuzzy ducking again. And playing jab. The CD3+4 beats a jab, right? Moving around a lot. Playing at a space where he can't just immediately mix me. I'm out of his threat range. So if he wants to hit me, he has to close a huge amount of space. All that time I can 2-2, forward 2, up forward 1. Completely ugly situation. He whiffs the electric. I don't get a whiff punish. But I'm holding that far range. And now, this is what happens. I'm holding this really far range, right? Look at this here. Holding is really far range, right? So he closes the gap and he has to input block because of all of these 2-2s, all of these up forward 1s, all these forward 2s, all my moves. He has to block. He doesn't want to die. Now that he's blocking at close range and hesitating, that lets me just do a free mix-up. Back 2. Clips his backdash, but even so, it would beat an approach timing too. I play a little forward dash game here. He's not biting. Why is that play button staying in the center of the screen? I guess it just stays there. All right, nice punish. Playing all these forward dash mix-ups, right? Because if I do that, if I do all these forward dash things, I don't have to be afraid of electric. Assuming my timing is good, right? You could totally die if he catches my forward. But I'm running these forward dashes because he can't hell sweep me, and he can't electric me. He starts running at me, nice, imposing his offense, plays frames, rage drive, 2-2 to clip him out. Keep it very simple. And he was probably trying to beat a down back 3 here, to be honest. 2-2 hits him here. It puts him in lethal HP for down back 3. I would honestly input a low parry, although he would catch my forward movement too. So probably just a moment of frustration. It doesn't make sense for me to go for up forward 3, get the win on him. And the point of this video was to really highlight that Nene is not a slouch. Okay, Nene takes out NA's best. Like, not just on a good day. Like, this is what he is capable of doing, right? So, and he is intimately aware and able to implement these strategies, right? Especially the robbery factor. And if you ever watch him fight a non-Noctis, he makes forward dashing look like the scariest thing you can do because he will snipe you with electric almost every time, especially against legacy characters. But just the tools they gave Noctis, up forward 1, the Steve back 1, safe approaching hitboxes that he can keep out with and attack with, and it covers the weaknesses of up forward 1 and jab, his ability to evade opponents' jabs, and then on top of all that, just being able to attack and move after with all of this safety and range, right? So DLC is just not just a Noctis thing. A lot of the DLC characters kind of have these tools that just really negate your ability to Tekken your way out of people's offense. And this is part of the trend, I think, of just making attacking a lot more stronger. They tried it with Tekken 7, and they failed a little bit because of how strong counter hit and low parry were. So in Tekken 8, they're moving to a style where the defensive, like, mash opportunities are not as good. It's better to face roll your offense because you won't get punished for it too hard unless you whiff really badly or they get a good sidestep on you. So, all of this is to say that I really like what Nene is doing as a player. I think it's built for older Tekkens, but I'm a huge fan of observing all of your opponent's tendencies in this framework, the keep out, the defense, and the offense, and applying the correct tool to outplay them there. Me, I'm not as good, so I rely on these safer tools, my patience, movement, just the ability to do something that's kind of more boring and just get away with it. That's kind of my thing. But I'm a big fan of what Nene is doing and what a lot of the OG Tekken players can do. So something I'm excited for in Tekken 8, last thing I'll say, is that it is more of this than Tekken 7 was, right? Because sidestep is so strong, you have more options against your opponent's offense. In turn, that means your opponent has to entertain more things to hit you when you're defending. And the layers that creates are really cool. That feels like real Tekken. If they buff the backdash just a little bit, then you'll get the full spectrum of like Tekken options and range threats and things like that. You saw how I was controlling Nene's options by playing at this really far range. It forces him to either run in and block or run in and get hit because I'm not going to whiff. I'm playing Noctis. Except for that. Crazy timing. I didn't even mean to go to that clip. But that's the last thing I'll say. I hope you enjoyed this video, a little breakdown of DLC versus a legacy character. I'm hoping that they really continue to reward like really strong legacy Tekken player skills because it's really cool. And you get a lot of really cool moments out of this expertise. I think Tekken 8 is doing a great job of being accessible. Tekken 7 was obviously very accessible. I'm sure there's a middle ground that can be struck. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if this was cool to you. Leave a comment if I missed something. Subscribe, which would be great too. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.